Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Beyond the Pop. This is our brand new monthly news and tip session for all of our AMC customers. We just want to make sure that everyone is really getting all of the features and functionality and stuff that we work on behind the scenes, just to make sure that you're really getting that ROI out of DaVinci. So welcome to the first one. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and go over a brief agenda. We're going to go into some quick intros to the team that we have on the call today. I do have a few brief announcements that I'd like to share with you all. We're then going to go over a high-level list of DaVinci's latest releases. I'm going to give you all a quick tour of DaVinci Health Status that can be found on AMC's website. Then we're going to take a look at two DaVinci apps, Cisco Finesse and Global Presence, and then hop into education with Josh, and we're going to look at agent profiles. So I'm Mariah Mays. I lead the marketing team here at AMC.
I'm Kelly Nauman. I'm a part of the customer success team here at AMC. I think I know some of you already, so nice to see you again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Josh, and I'm on the development team here with AMC.
Oh, happy Tuesday. 2/22/22. I forgot. Yeah. Was going to say something. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, happy Tuesday. So the few announcements that I'd like to go into, of course, this is a new session, but we're going to be holding our second one on Tuesday, March 29th. It'll be the same 30-minute, quick, brief update, some education, some new features, and we're going to do it at the same time, 11 Eastern. You can sign up by going to the link there, amctechnology.com/press-info, or you can just reach out to one of us directly right after this, and we can help you get signed up. The other quick thing, next month, we're going to be in Las Vegas at the Call and Contact Center Expo. We're at stand 7025. If you're in Vegas or attending the show, please let us know, and we'd love to meet up with you, connect. So here is the high-level overview of some of our latest product and enhancement releases. We've recently finished our Salesforce BYOT, that's Bring Your Own Telephony. That's allowing you to bring your existing phone systems with your omni-channel for all of our Salesforce customers. We also have enabled multiple profile support for agent login, and I'm not going to go into details about that right now because Josh is here to demo that for you today. We've also streamlined the configuration for agents in Creator Studio. So whoever is doing all of your admin in Creator Studio should be excited about that. We also have been working on upgrading our infrastructure with the continuous delivery support, and that's just even less downtime, which is a huge deal. And then we have a new DaVinci app for Siebel Open UI. If you would like more information on any of this, I've put Raj's contact here. He's our technical product manager. He's been with AMC for like 10 years. He'll be able to tell you a lot more information about any of these. Or if you aren't jotting down that email right now, you can feel free to reach out to Kelly or Susanna, your customer success manager, and they can always connect you with someone that can get you more information. And now I'm going to take you all to our website and show you DaVinci Health Status. So this is just the AMC website here. And if you scroll down to the bottom in this menu at the footer, you'll see DaVinci Health Status. You can also just go to it right here, DaVinci-status. And this is going to give you that up-to-the-minute availability for all of your DaVinci products that you're using. So really, it's just if something's down, on the rare occasion that it is, You can check here first and just make sure, like everything is right now, looks good. Make sure that it's not something that we're aware of on our end. And then also, if there's ever something going on, we'll usually leave like a note here that could potentially affect something. Like you can see here, we had this little note still there because we were getting questions about the Log4j API issue back, I guess, a couple weeks ago. So anyway, all right. And I'm going to go back to my deck. All right. And then Kelly, do you want to talk to us a little bit about Cisco? And I think you had some housekeeping updates.
Yes, thank you, Mariah. I appreciate that. Before I tell you more about our new Finesse app, I just wanted to give a quick heads up to everybody. One of the things that AMC is really focusing on this year is our customers and engaging with them in a more meaningful way. And so as part of that, our whole team is reaching out to basically all of our customers because we want to talk about what's important to you and how we can help you. We want to know more about what are your goals for 2022 and beyond, and how can we help you meet them? How are you measuring success? How are you on adoption? How are you on ROI? And what can we do to boost those numbers? What other big whiteboard projects do you have on your plate, and how can we help you in those spaces? What's on the horizon? Any changes coming up to your landscape? We want to know. We want to know all about you. So if you haven't already heard from me or another member of the customer success team or your AE, they're helping us reach out as well. You definitely will be soon. In the meantime, feel free to ping us, proactively if you've got some time, before we get to you, and we'll set up some time just to discuss how we can make you look good to your boss and get you the value that you're expecting out of us. So that was my little spiel on our check-ins, our reach out that we're doing. So now I want to talk to you about our new Cisco Finesse app. We are all super excited. It's hot off the presses. We built this integration because we had a few customers, I think some of them might even be on our webinar today, who expressed an interest in bringing the DaVinci functionality directly into Finesse. So we responded, we built this app, and now we have it here to share with everybody. It's pretty straightforward. It's the same DaVinci toolbar that you're used to seeing in your CRM of choice, but the big difference is that now you can get to it directly from Finesse. This particular integration really helps our fully on-prem customers in two big ways. The first way is that our customers with on-prem Cisco are going to be able to get rid of their DaVinci premise server entirely. And that's really going to simplify your infrastructure. It's going to reduce your footprint. You can keep everything else as is. You just nix that extra server. So we all know fewer servers, the better. The second big thing for our on-prem customers is that you'll get the benefits of our newer hybrid DaVinci UI solution. So that means when we make updates, they get pushed to you automatically. So you won't have to do manual upgrades anymore. We've got that continuous delivery, so you're not going to have any downtime while we're doing maintenance in the future. It's hosted on Azure, so it's pretty much up all the time. If you ever see those check marks that Mariah showed you earlier turn into little red X's, it's probably something on the Azure side. Especially license management is one of the other areas that are really going to benefit you guys when it comes to working through your renewals. There's no more license keys that need to be applied to your server because the server's not there anymore. So at this point, you're probably saying to yourself, Kelly, that sounds wonderful. I'm so excited. This looks super cool, but I have so many projects on my plate. I don't really have the bandwidth to do a big migration. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you've already got Finesse up and running, it's really easy to try out. It's not a big uplift. All you have to do is go into your profile in Creator Studio, you add the Finesse app, you point it to your Finesse server, and you drop your agents in. Boom, done, you're good to go. You can try it out in parallel with other things. It's pretty easy to set up. So since this is I'll close with this. Since this is a pretty new integration, we really are looking to get some thoughts, some feedback from our customers who are running Cisco, because we want to make sure that we've got all of your use cases accounted for and you've got the functionality that you need and expect. So if you're interested in learning more, we would really love to have a discussion with you to learn more about how you're using our product today so that we can bring all of that into the app and we can put a little plan together for you to test it out and see how this works for you. So definitely drop us a line, send us an email, give me a call, whatever works, and we'll pick up the discussion thread.
And Kelly, they can even just drop something in the chat right now or
Yes.
anytime. And if there are any questions, feel free to drop them in there as well about this or anything that we're covering or as we go into the demo portion as well.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point, Mariah. This is probably a pretty good time to stop and see if anybody has any questions. I know that was a lot of words for me. We are keeping it short and sweet today, but we do have a few moments provisioned for questions. So if you guys have anything, drop it into the chat. So I'll just pause before we turn it over to Josh.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Getting rid of that DPS, that server is a big deal. So. All right. I'm not seeing anything come in. No, but that's okay. We still have, plenty of time. If you guys think of anything, drop it in the chat and we'll have another break for questions and then we should have some time left over for one last round of Q&A.
Cool.
So
and I'll just go ahead and
turn it over to Josh.
Yep,
Great.
You're up, Josh.
Nice. Thank you very much. All right. So what you're seeing here on the screen is a brief slide that shows the main features of our Global Presence app. And if I may, I'll take over the screen and I'll instead show the real thing in action. But before we begin, I just want to say that as Mariah said, if there are any questions at any time, please feel free to engage, put it in the chat, and hopefully either Mariah or Kelly will stop me and we can address those questions. But there will also be time in between and at the end to cover questions as well. So hopefully, let me share my screen. Okay. And what you should be seeing once it loads is the Salesforce CRM. We have the DaVinci soft phone here on the left, and we're using Genesis as the CTI. Now, of course, this demonstration and Global Presence can work with any CRM, any CTI combination that you have. But Global Presence is this icon up here in the top right. And you can see that it says I'm ready. I'm logged in with my account in DaVinci. Now, Global Presence, its job is to manage presence. And what this can do is, and the global part of Global Presence means that it's not just reporting presence to and from DaVinci, it's supposed to unify the agent presence throughout the entire soft phone. So if you see, now in Genesis, my presence in Genesis is listed down here. It says I'm on queue. If I change my presence in Global Presence and I say I'm not ready, I'm going out to lunch, you can see that the presence also changes in Genesis. Now it's bidirectional. So if I change my presence in Genesis and I say I'm available, my presence in Global Presence will change to ready. This is really useful for when maybe you have multiple CTIs, maybe you have a CRM that tracks presence changes and reports them. What Global Presence does is it makes it so that the agent doesn't have to click around to all of these places just to update their presence once. They can do it in one place and it propagates everywhere. So the other feature that we saw on that slide for Global Presence is that it can indicate and show the availability of other agents that are also logged into DaVinci. So you can see here now that I have on the left is the agent I was logged into. The agent on the right is a different agent. I'm logged into two different agents at once, and I'll show what Global Presence can do. So if I say on the left here, if I go not ready, on the right, if I click inside this dialer field here, you can see that I'm not ready here. The agent on the right can see that the agent on the left is not available. And if I go ready here on the left, then you can see that it's immediately reflected over here on the right. This is really good for when agents are trying to transfer or consult other agents. They can see which ones are available and which ones are not, so they can plan that accordingly. So with that, that's a high-level overview of the global presence feature, and I'll just briefly, before we stop for questions, go to Creator Studio and show you the global presence app. Here is the global presence app. All you have to do is install it from the list of apps onto the profile that you'd like. And with very brief configuration, all of our CTIs use default presence codes, and all of our CTI apps and global presence work together out of the box, but you can also customize it a bit more to have custom presence codes if you'd like. And all that configuration happens here in Creator Studio. So with that, I'll pause for questions if there are any. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So
sorry, nothing's coming in,
No
but
questions.
yeah, no questions, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll get into the multi-profile feature. We just recently launched our first iteration of this feature. Now, anybody who's used Creator Studio probably knows that a profile, you're looking at a profile now on my screen here. A profile is just a collection of apps and services and their configurations. So I have a profile right here. And a lot of times we get a business use case from a lot of our customers, and it's great that we have representation from NatWest here, because I believe that you have this requirement as well, where agents will switch between environments for a variety of reasons. They may want to, maybe the call center is on a premise integration and they want to try to migrate to cloud, but they have to test it first. So they have agents that go back and forth between working in premise and testing the cloud integrations that they want to bring in. Maybe agents work in different CRMs in different times of the day. Maybe they work in Salesforce at the beginning of the day to do a certain set of tasks, and maybe they log out and log into a different CRM or maybe a different CTI to do a separate set of tasks. And every time you do this, before we rolled out multi-profile, a call center admin would have to go into Creator Studio and change the profile that's assigned to these users every time they wanted to switch that profile. Now, with multi-profile, what we can do is we can go to the users list here. I'll filter on my user. And when we click it, we can see a list of profiles here right underneath the entry, the row in the table. So on the list on the left is all of the available profiles that you can assign to the user. The list on the right is all of the assigned profiles that they can choose from. And I can very easily just add and remove these profiles whenever I want. And now what I'll do is I'll log out here and I'll show you the agent selecting the profile that they want to log into. So when I log into DaVinci, once the login goes through, the agent will be presented with a list of different profiles that they can choose from. So with that example that I gave earlier, maybe they're doing their normal daily task. They want to be on the premise profile. They simply select the premise profile, and just like that, it loads the premise configurations. And I won't waste time logging into that. Now let's say they want to switch over to a cloud test profile instead. They can log out, log back in, and they'll be presented with the same exact selection. So they can choose to do their test profile, for example, or the other profile that they need to perform their work. And that's a brief overview of the multi-profile feature. I mean, there's a few other aspects to it, but I think that's a good place to stop and open it up to questions again.
Cool. Josh, we actually have a question about the Finesse app. So Trevor wants to know, will the custom statuses in an existing Finesse instance carry over? Because for an example, they have, ready, not ready, break, outbound calls. So do those get transferred over automatically, or is there some config work that needs to be done?
There may be some config work that needs to be done. The worst case scenario, it would be about 5 minutes. And our SEs, a lot of people at AMC, if you reach out to your AMC representative, can easily do that for you or explain how it works. Now, it may be possible. I can't really say anything for certain because I'm not sure what the specifics are of your particular profile or configurations are. but there may be a chance that you can import some information over as well. But if that's not the case, it would be very simple to go into the CTI app, the Cisco Finesse app, and in the Global Presence app, and quickly link those presence codes together.
Cool. Thanks, Josh. We actually do have another question about multiple profiles. And
Right.
so Durai wants to know, so giving them the ability to have multiple profiles, does that mean that users can access multiple profiles at the same time? And he's curious about how that helps the business.
It doesn't.
Can you speak to that a little?
Yes, so they can't access profiles at the same time. And now if you wanted, now I'm not sure exactly what you're picturing, but maybe you're thinking that you want two different CTIs installed at the same time. Maybe you have two different CTIs for two different channels, so on and so forth. You can have a profile with any combination of apps that you'd like. So you could have a single profile with all of these different apps all together in at one time. The multi-profile you can't load them both at the same time. You would have to switch to the profile that you prefer, given whatever circumstances are as you're logging into DaVinci. I hope that clears things up a little bit, and I can pause here and see if I answer the question appropriately.
Yeah, exactly. Durai. So he's saying, for example, prod and dev, so you could have separate profiles for both.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. So really anytime an agent would need to have a different set of configurations, you know, maybe they're logging into like a different CRM or something, that would probably be where the agent profiles would come in handy. Just having them being able to choose quickly instead of having the admins do like some reconfiguration every time they've got to switch over.
Precisely. Thank you, Kelly.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know. Cool. Okay. So I think that answers Durai's question. Anybody have any other questions before we close out? Oh, yes, we have one more. Okay. So Trevor wants to know, when outbound dialing, will it be easy to set up call masking for multiple locations in the app?
Call masking for multiple locations. Yeah. Is there any more information that we can get?
Yeah, I don't quite understand the context for that one. Maybe we'll give him a moment to type. We do have a few minutes, so if we're not able to answer it during the course of this webinar, we can always pick this back up and answer it directly, Trevor. I'm not really sure if he's talking about the Finesse app or the multiple profiles. Okay, so he's saying when they do outbound dialing, they use the main store line. So when a customer returns a call, it goes to the main line and not the agent directly.
Oh, I see. That sounds like it would be CTI configuration. It sounds like it's more specific to whichever telephony provider that you're using. So you'd probably configure that in the CTI service that's providing your telephony, I would imagine, to get all those different configurations set correctly.
Trevor, does that answer your question? He says, got it. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know the chat's a bit limited in the way that we can communicate, but
yeah,
hopefully, yeah, if I mean, Kelly said it herself that please reach out to an AMC representative if you want to go deeper into your specific configurations. I'm sure we can give more information and answer the question a bit better that way.
100%.
So I guess
Great.
we'll give it like maybe one more minute to see if anything comes in. Great questions, though. It's cool to be
Yeah, I
able
love it.
to interact. So,
And I can go ahead and turn over the screen back to you, Mariah,
yeah.
if we're closing out here. There we go.
Okay. Cool. So yeah. So in closing, if you do have additional questions or want more information about anything that we covered, here's our contact information. Of course, You can reach out to your AE, your CSM, anyone at AMC for more questions. And then we'll also be sending out a recording of this. So if you want to give it another listen, something comes up and you want to reach out, you will have that opportunity with the recording. And then one more plea to register for the next one. Again, the link is here, or we can get you signed up directly if you want to join. Is there any other questions that came in, Kelly? If not, we can
Nope.
go ahead and close.
Yeah, I think we wrapped it up nicely. Thank you guys so much. Thanks everybody for joining. This was really fun. Looking forward to the next one.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Bye.
Take care.